and welcome to Naturally Kim's Knitting. I'm Kim, and I'm the hostess of this podcast. This podcast is all about knitting, spinning, dyeing of yarn, all from, I would say, sunny Lima, Ohio, or outside of it, but we are having snow. I don't know if I can show you. Don't know if you can see how well you can see that, but that's snow. Here we are in spring, and we're having snow. But hey, that's okay, because the nice thing about snow in March, it doesn't last long. Anyways, back to my notes. Today is March 21st, and this is episode number 107. I am filming from my kitchen, right in front of my china cabinet. We got that as a wedding present from an antique store way back when with our wedding money. Anyways, I thought I would try it here because I have a nice big window opposite me, so I thought the light would be great. But with the snow and everything, I've got such reflection on my glasses. So I can have good light with bad reflection, or I can have bad light and no reflection. So we will see what happens. If I keep my head turned, I'm not being snobbish. I'm trying to not blind you guys. Anyways, you can find me on Ravelry as NapiersKnits and Naturally Kim's Knitting. That is our podcast group. And if you join it, you can take part in knit-alongs and talking and sharing of patterns, and my camera's gonna fall. Sorry. I have it propped up so that I can film from back here. Bad thing is props move sometimes. Anyways, sorry about that. So it would be wonderful if you would want to do any of our knit-alongs with us, to join in there. We also, if you're watching this on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button, please. I forgot what I was saying. See, I get going off on things, and I just forget what I'm saying. Anyway, you can find me as NapiersKnits on Etsy. That's my store name, where I have hand-dyed goodies right now. And on Instagram, I'm knittin_Kim. And then you can find me as Naturally Kim's Knitting on YouTube, Blogger, Facebook, and WordPress. Yes, I think that's it. We haven't had any new members join this week, but that's okay. Hey, that means it's just us'ns. But if you are new at watching this, I welcome you. And if you've been around for a while, oh, I'm so glad that you've come back. Anyways, my mind, see, I don't know if it's the snow or if I'm just so aware of the glare or what, but my mind is scattered. But like I said, if you are new, we would love to make you a part of our little Ravelry group where you can ask questions, you can find friends, and yes, it's going to slip and slide around. I am sorry about that. Yes, oh yes, I am. It's going to be a dancing camera day. Is that what I should call this? Dancing camera day? Anyways, let's see. We do have a knit-along going on from now until April 30th. It's called the Double Time Knit-along. It's all for double knitting. And I know many of you have thought, I don't know if I want to try this, but you should see the project that Anvita has put on our Ravelry page. It is so cool. And it's a washcloth, a little washcloth. It counts. I'm not picky. I started something, but as I was bringing it out to the kitchen, I don't have enough project bags. And it fell off my needles, and I'm not sure if I can get it back on, but we shall find out. If this is my pie scarf, and I am through. I know my 3, I missed a row, but I'm going to ignore it. 3.141295. And I'm going to keep going till I run out of yarn. So that's going to be my double knitting for it. I won't get a prize or anything, but if you enter, you can get some wonderful prizes. I didn't bring them out to the kitchen because I'm not used to filming out here, and I just totally forgot. But this is the pattern. It's called Digits of Pie Scarf. And in addition, it's mainly just a graph on the back with the first 6 numbers on it, and then she gives you other numbers that you will probably use. But she takes pi out too. Oh my goodness, I have no idea how many digits. I don't think my scarf will be that long. But she also gives you number values for E. So if you want to do a scarf for E, and I'm not sure what the third number is. I'm sorry, I'm not good at that, I guess. And then she has prime numbers. I didn't even see the prime numbers. So I am doing right now pi, and it's a scarf, but knowing how my daughter would love to have things like this to maybe hang on her wall for the kids to see later on, I'm thinking it might go out California way. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, I should tell you, I am knitting the pie scarf out of Knit Picks Stroll fingering in the Dove Heather and the Duchess Heather colorways. I don't think I have that in my show notes. Oh, I have a beautiful female cardinal out sitting on my picnic table. I don't have any food out there for it. Poor little thing. So anyways, you could do some little things if you just want to try double knitting. There's a lot of free patterns on Ravelry for double knitting. It will be so much fun. And a heads up for the next one, because we have over a month, but we're going to be doing mosaic knitting. So there's some free patterns for mosaic on internet too, so if you're interested, get your things together. And I might be having another general knit along as we go along. I might just have people put their finished objects in, and for the next few months I'll have a prize at the end of the month or something. Yeah, I have a finished objects thread, so go ahead and put your items in there, and at the end of March I will go through and see how many we have, and those people can get a prize. And I will continue that going for the rest of the year. Aren't I nice? I'm not egocentric at all, I'm sorry. Okay, so you saw the pie scarf, which is on my needles. Oh, I do have it on here. It's by Panandora. Anyways, my temperature afghan I did not bring out with me because it's rather big, and I was afraid of losing some stitches. I have it in the middle of a square, but I have been working on it. It's coming along. Then I finished sleeve number 1 for my grandson's cardigan, the Which Way Up cardigan. See, it has arrows going up or down. And then I'm rather disappointed because I started the new skein thinking, okay, this will take up right where the other one did. It'll start like that. It will start with the dark gray down here. No. Yes, I could go along till I find the gray. Or I can just see if he minds if it's not matchy-matchy. Or I suppose I could start it with the gray that's on the other skein. I've just done the cuff. I've not gone very far. But anyways, that's the Which Way Up pattern, and I have it right here, but I put it underneath it. I think it was a pay-for pattern, but like I said, I don't mind paying for patterns for my grandchildren. The Which Way Up cardigan by Amy Gunderson. Isn't that cool? And I've lost the sleeve. I need to get online and check it out. For the Caron Big Cake yarn, I will have to get online and find it and check it out. Do I have the other yarns on here? I told you, I am not totally with it. I know we're using size 3, which is 3.2 millimeter needles, and US 2, 2.75 millimeter needles, and I did not put down the other yarn. They were by Sincere Sheep. Lovely, lovely yarn. I bought it when I was in California, but I do know they have a online store. Okay. Then we have, I'm singing today. I don't know why. my granddaughter's project. Look at that. That's the Nahid dress. I think I said it right. Yeah, Nahid, by the Knitting Expat Designs, Mina Phillips. I love her podcast. I do not go a week without watching hers or without watching Cece's. I just love them. Anyways, so this is made with the yellow is the Viking Milk and Honey, color 840, and the Lang Jawoll Magic in 048 colorway. I wish they had names. They don't. I love that. I would love to have a name. I'm just not sure what I would call it. You're working it from the top down, so I'm still going along, and one of these days I will get to the sleeve area. I know I will. I love this pattern. I love Knitting Expat Designs. I love her podcast. Well, for one thing, since my grandchildren live in California and I live in Ohio, it's kind of nice to watch her little girl who just turned 1 as she's growing and changing. And so anyway, she's got the cutest little daughter named Layla, who is on the picture of the pattern. Isn't that gorgeous? And this dress does come in sizes 0 through 6 years of age. If I ever have another granddaughter, I will have to start her off right with it. As it is, I'm making the biggest because I'm afraid by the time I get it sent out to California, my granddaughter will not be a size 4 anymore. She doesn't grow very fast. She's very petite, very beautiful, very charming, very wonderful. But she just doesn't grow much. I think she works off the calories as soon as she gets them in. My grandson, however, he's just shooting up, and so his is a size 4 because I'm sure he'll be in a size 4 by the time it gets out there, if he's not already. So anyway, sorry, I get talking and I get sorry about that. Anyways, the Nahid dress is worked on US 2 and US 4 needles, or 2.75 millimeter and 3.5 millimeters. That's my Nahid dress. That's all my written out patterns. Okay, so we will go on to my, I don't want these to fall off. My husband was being so charming this morning, and he moved my socks because I just laid them down beside the bed because I had hopes of getting the toe done before I fell asleep last night. It didn't work. But I am on the toe. These are my top down, my own pattern. I will, after I get these all done, I will put them on Ravelry, and they'll be free for like a week, the pattern will be. Then I'll charge because I don't have anybody who's pattern tested it yet, except for me. So I am on the toes, which means Kitchener stitch is not far behind. And you know that's the whole reason I've not done top-down socks for a long, long time. So that will be, I told my husband, it's not that it's a new thing, it's that it scares me. But then I also have the waist yarn for the afterthought heel, which I've never done before. So yes, that intimidates me a little bit too. But you know what? What's life with a little challenge? I should tell you, because I just came to my tea packet. I'm drinking the Godiva Rocher flavored rooibos from the English tea shop. That's what's in my tea. I'm not done talking about what's on my needles. Oh, if only, you know me. And I'm even thinking about starting something else. I'm a little crazy. But you know what? I work on everything every day now. Since I have Cece's pattern testing done, yes, that's a finished object. I have got all her pattern tests done, test patterns done, and I think she's still taking pre-orders. So if you go to Java Pearl Designs, you can see about how to if you're interested in her Tickled Pink book, filled with wonderful socks and shawls and wraps and cowl. I think that was it. Oh, and a hat. I wish I could show you all these things. I can't yet. But I can show you my scrap socks, if you remember. Oh, nor the end is not woven in. If you remember, I was right there. These are toe up. last week, and I finished it. Got my cuff. Ta-da! And I've made it through the toe and that far on the second sock. Just different scrap yarns that I have laying around. Then I have one more thing that I am knitting right now. And Betsy was asking about if I would write this pattern up for these chemo caps. And yes, I just want to get the second hat done before I do it, only because I want to make sure I'm getting everything right. So here is the last one was done in Felici, and it was self-striping. And this one I decided just to do it with a, I don't even know what you call that, speckled type of yarn. I did it myself, and it looks like this, and I love it. But, so the little welts are all the same color, but you still have the little row in there that separates them. It's not a hard pattern. I just want to make sure I get everything right before I put it in there. And it will be a free design, because anytime I put a preemie hat, not a preemie hat, a chemo hat pattern on Ravelry, I make it free, because if case somebody else wants to do it for charity, then they can. It will be free, and a pattern won't cost them anything. Okay. Oh, my scarf. I knew I was going to forget something. I started this over because my pattern was not working out on the other one. But you can kind of see on this one, there's little places in the knitting where you put a little purl stitch, and it gives you a little variation in the pattern. So this is my homespun yarn. And I do know the light brown came from Woolbothy. Ooh, my Woolbothy. Which they sent me an order last week, and I opened it, and I put it with all my other Woolbothy to be spun, and I don't remember what color I got. I'm sorry, John and Carolyn. But anyways, John and I have been emailing back and forth about all kinds of things. I just love it. I've got a Scottish friend, and I love it. And I was talking to him about how I feel bad because I always get his wool by auction. And he told me, oh, don't feel bad, because those that don't get it, hopefully they'll check out the Buy It Now area, because he has both. So if you're interested, if you're a spinner, this is lovely, lovely, lovely yarn, or roving to spin. Oh, so soft. And the reason I put it with this was because that green yarn that I had in here wasn't so soft, but yet together is going to make somebody at the soup kitchen a nice, warm, thick, lovely, textured, soft scarf. That's my goal. So, yay. Now, I think that's it for what's on my needles. What did I finish? Well, look around my neck. I have finished this other homespun scarf. And this was made out of a friend of mine, the Gums. They have alpacas. And I have a little bit more to spin with, but then I'll be out of it. And I tell you, it doesn't matter what you put it with, it is soft. I don't have enough to make a scarf. That's what I was thinking. But I can spin some, and maybe Luann and Ted will send some more my way. They're lovely Christian people. And they're the ones that got me spinning with this. And, oh, you can tell I'm just petting it. No, I am not keeping this one. This one is going to the soup kitchen, because somebody deserves a nice, soft, warm, pretty colored, I think, scarf. Ooh, and that was warm. I didn't even realize how warm. Excuse me as I have to bend over. Okay, now let's see. That is it for all of that. I've said I finished CC's. You know, I've been mentioning that one of the things that makes me so happy is my Craftsy Bible study. We've had to miss the last 2 sessions, and we only meet every other week. Well, last week we had ice, and then we had snow. And when my husband comes in and says, I don't know that you ought to drive to our church, we live in the country, and there's our house, there's a field, there's a busy road, and then the church. So for him to tell me, I don't think you ought to go, I knew it had to be icy. Plus, even if the rest of the county is not slick, we have open fields by our house, and it is terribly, terribly slick everywhere around our house. So we didn't have it. But bless the girls, I tell you, they all understand. I was going to try to do it this week, but they're having a prayer time at our church this Saturday. So ladies, and all of you who are hearing this, it won't be this week. We'll just go ahead and plan it for another week. I send this to my friends that are part of the Bible study. Bible study crafty time. Devotional crafty time is what I should call it. Now let's see. Oh, I'm on the things that have made me happy. Well, some of you have heard that I am doing I have big goals this year. This is not on my resolution. And just in case one of them is listening, I don't want to say who these are for. But I am making mega socks this year. So, Knit Picks last week, they're ending some of their colorways of different socks. So so they had a big 40% off of their fingering weight yarn. How could I pass that up? I mean, my goodness, 40% off. Now, not all their yarn was 40. Some of it was 20 and some was 30. But anytime I can get sock yarn on sale, it's worth it. So, of course, as many of you know, any of the new viewers probably don't know, I am affiliated with Knit Picks. And so I like to do business through them. I love their product. I love their yarn. If you can see me right now, I am petting this skein of yarn I'm holding in my hand. And any of you who are interested in buying from Knit Picks, if you click on my links, which are throughout the show notes, it will take you to Knit Picks, but yet I will get a couple pennies. It doesn't raise the price of the yarn, doesn't cost you anything. They just send a penny or two my way, which then is going to go for prizes down the road. But for right now, I could not resist their sock yarn sale. It's over. I apologize, or I would have told you last week. I didn't know about it till Friday. I think it was over the weekend. Might have ended Monday. I'm not sure. But anyway, so I got some Chroma Twist. I'm making socks. I can't say for who because they might be watching. But this is, Chroma Twist is the 70% superwash wool, 30% nylon, fingering weight, and this is Sandpiper, and that is pretty true to color. I think I need to film here more often because things are coming true to color on here. Then another Chroma Twist I got. Some of these I've had before, but I've had it in knitting worsted. I made hats out of it. This is Manzanita. I don't know if that's how you say it. That's how I'm going to say it. I'll show it to you. Where is it? There it is. I do like that. So I'm thinking both those could be for men. I just dropped the skein. Just a moment. It's not wanting to cooperate. But I have another one, and I'm thinking it could be for men. Depends on the man. But this is, where is it? Surf's Up, dude. No, Surf's Up, sorry. I added the dude. Isn't that pretty, too? I like this type of yarn. It's just beautiful. It looks like a barber pole. And I just love that. And then the last one that I have that is definitely, that I think could definitely be male, is Fog Bank. Isn't that pretty? That's Fog Bank. I'm sorry, I shouldn't cover my mouth while I'm talking. Sorry. I sit at a table and I put my elbows on the table, and then it makes the table complain. I don't know where to go next. Then I also have these that I'm going to use for heels and toes. This is their gloss fingering, and this is in the dough. I can't remember without looking. Masala, because my husband and I were commenting on this last night. And this one is jade. So I'm thinking heels and toes for some of them. Then the other ones I got, see, I got a big haul. And I got my husband's approval because they're Christmas gifts. This is Dear Diary. Hold it back here first. Then I'll show you Dear Diary. Oh! And then this is Ferris wheel. Isn't that fun? I have some people in mind who would love this. And this one is just, I've always loved Pegasus. I'm hoping they're not getting rid of these colors forever, because I really like some of these. Anyways, excuse me, I apologize, but this fell down. And this is Felici. This is 75% merino wool, 25% nylon, fingering weight, 100 grams. I got 5 of these, so I can make my own colors for some people. So this, I'm going to use this for dyeing. I haven't exactly figured out the colors yet. Kind of, but not exactly yet. But that's okay. I have a few days yet before I have to. I have to tell you something. I can't show you because it's in the living room, my spinning wheel. But I got a high-speed adapter kit for my spinning wheel. Okay, that's cold now. And with it, I am spinning some really fine yarn. And it's going to be this color. And I should have brought the other color in. It's a dark brown that I get from John Woolbothy. And I'm going to spin these together, and it'll either be a very nice scarf, or if this had nylon in it, I would make sock yarn. But I have a thing about sock yarn and without nylon. It's just me. But it could be a shawl, it could be a scarf, it could be a hat for somebody, but probably not for my chemo kids. There's just enough itch in that I think it might drive them crazy. But I am having so much fun spinning this, because this is what I envisioned when I first started spinning, was spinning like sock yarn. But I couldn't figure out how they were getting it so little until I started watching a homespun house. And she has the very same spinning wheel I do. Bless your heart. I'm going to have to put shout out notes to all these people. But she has the very same spinning wheel I do, but she got a high-speed adapter before, or she was using a high-speed adapter right before Christmas, and she was making the most wonderful thin plied yarn. So that's what I'm doing with it, and it is working out great. Now, in addition to the things I've already mentioned that makes me happy, I see something over here, and I just have to let you know. So last week, I showed you some yarn that I got from Knit Crate. Wonderful yarn, wonderful. And it came from this company called Ridiculous Yarns. I didn't open this. I apologize for the crinkling sound. Where did I put it? Oh, I don't know where the envelope is. It was the cute, oh, here it is. I love this bag. I love this shipping bag. I need to find out where she got it, because I absolutely love this. And then on the shipping label, she put a little daisy and a little thank you heart. And my husband goes, somebody is really thankful that you bought things from her. She's an independent dyer. And like I said, I loved her yarn. So I thought I would try some of her roving. Here is, if you're interested, she has yarn, she has roving. Reasonable prices on Etsy, and there's her Etsy store at the bottom, but it's Ridiculous Yarns. And then she sent me a sample. Isn't that pretty? But this, Granted, I was drawn to it because my granddaughter likes these things. This is called A Shot of Unicorn. My granddaughter, when we went to the Lambtown Festival last year in California, she was telling us it's a lamb and unicorn show. And so when I see unicorn, I had to get it. Anyways, this is 100% merino, 4 ounces. And it is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I wish I don't know what her name is. I only know she's Ridiculous Yarns. So check her out. I mean, the roving wasn't a bad price. I didn't think her yarns were a bad price. And she's a nice, it's a nice small, Bria. Thank you, Bria. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I like supporting small business people. Small business people and local business people. I like doing both those things. Okay, so let's see. So as far as my resolutions go for the year, I've got another scarf done. So I've got 6 chemo caps, 2 scarves, and 2 garments done. I'm going to exceed my garments. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have known that. Now, my craft book. To go along with my big project of the year, I thought I would pull out one of my little knitting sock books. And I got this from Knit Picks, and it is available at Knit Picks. There is a link in the show notes. It's also available secondhand through Amazon, but at Knit Picks, it's $5.99. Socktacular. Mix and match socks for fancy feet. And I love it. I have looked through this, and I've decided, okay, I'm going to be a knitting out of this. They have, you can do toes up, top down, mitered, or gusset heels. Choose your favorite to make a unique pair of socks. So I love this. You can mix and match the toes, the heels, the stitch patterns, all kinds of things. So they have different cuffs that you can do. Then they have the different heels. And so you can pick which one you want to do. The toes. How could I forget the toes? And then look at those socks. I am going to have so much fun. It shouldn't be a lot. No, those were all for top down, but I think I could adapt them for toe up. Here are toe up socks, which they're pretty much the same. I guess they've done the work for us, so I wouldn't have to do it, figure it out. But there's the toes for toe up socks. The heels. If you're into sock knitting, this would be a wonderful book. The cuffs. And there's a close-up of some of the patterns. I've had this book. Have I knit out it yet? No. Have I thought about it? Yes, but I haven't. And then they tell you once you've chosen all those things, you can begin, and they give you top down, toe up. Then they have the patterns for all those socks. They're not difficult patterns. If you can read charts, because they do not have them written out, but if you can read charts, you can do this. Look at that. I'm going to have a blast. You know me and knitting socks anyways. I always have 1 or 2 pair on the needles. And now with my big project coming up, who knows? So for this, they use Stroll fingering weight for all of it. However, I'm going to use chroma, and I'm going to see how it turns out. Oh, I should show you again. So this is the book, Socktacular, and I love it, and I will be knitting out of it. As soon as I finish my top-down socks, I'm going to start a pair out of there. I may not use I can't decide whether I'll make my own pattern or use theirs, but I will use their socks and their cuffs and their heels. So, wow. Don't know if you noticed, but I don't think the garbage man has come yet, because it wouldn't matter if I was filming out here or in the room, other room. My doggy would bark so loud you would heard it if the garbage man came by. So that was a nice thing. So I have been, instead of having books that I'm reading, I am listening to 2 different Audible books. One is Mary Boleyn by Alison Weir. I love Alison Weir. She's a, it's not fiction. She does such research, and I'm loving reading about Anne Boleyn's sister.